council meeting to order. Okay.
Mayor and council, we have with us this evening Dick Young from First Baptist Church to do the invocation.
Father, thank you for bringing us through another day. And Father, it takes many, many people to operate our town. And Father, we're particularly grateful to our police department, fire department, rescue squads, department heads, and administrative staff. We thank you for all of these people that help keep us safe. And Father, tonight, we thank you so much for our town council and our mayor. Father, they give up a lot of time for the citizens of Sherrall. And we thank you so much for each one of us. Father, tonight, we ask that you be with us in a special way and during this council meeting. Father, we love you and thank you, for it's in your wonderful name that we pray. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up on our agenda, the motion of approval of minutes from April 9, 2024 Town Council meeting. So moved. Get a second? Second. Questions or discussion on that? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. April 24, 2024 financial report. Rob.
The town continues to be in good financial shape. We have met targets on a lot of our tax revenues for the year, exceeded in many areas, and additionally, spending in most departments is right where it needs to be, around that 83% with 2 months remaining in the fiscal year. There are some overages in departments that are planned from unexpected projects or emergencies that have popped up throughout the year. And there are some minor overages in other lines that will need to be looked at a little bit.
Thank you, Rob. Anybody have any questions or comments on this? Okay, thank you. This time I have comments from Habitat for Humanity on the Stanley Road subdivision. Yes. Need a motion to approve. Oh, I'm sorry. Motion. Got a motion to approve. Second. I'm jumping ahead, y'all. All right. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries for the financial report. Now we'll move to the comments for Habitat for Humanity on the Stanley Road subdivision.
So with us this evening, we have representatives from Habitat for Humanity, including Ms. Brenda Parsons and Jonathan Moss. Jonathan is the construction manager for the Stanley Road subdivision, and Ms. Brenda Parsons is in charge of getting people qualified for houses in that subdivision. And they're here this evening just to share a little bit about the progress they've made on that subdivision here in the town. So I'll turn it over to you guys.
Afternoon. Been a busy day for us. Just kind of give you a heads up what's going on out there. If you guys haven't ridden past 354 Stanley Road, we just finished up the framing. This week I should have my roofer out there to put the shingles on. We've been fortunate to partner with Sherrall High School's construction class. They're going to be out there tomorrow as well to help me do some of the hurricane strapping, do some of the house wrap, and some of the window framing. They've been a big blessing with us for that. We've also been over to the high school and met with some of the classes and showed them what we do and kind of had it as an open, situation. They can ask us questions so they can see what was learned in the classroom and actually get to apply it in the field as well. So yeah, it's moving along quite well.
And I'm Brenda Parsons. I am the overseer for the qualifying the applicants for the approval. We do have a partnership with First Bank, who's given us a below market interest rate, which is 2%. The going rate right now is about 7.75 or 8. So this makes the candidates more qualified for these homes. The sales price of the homes are about $175, and it'll make the customers PITI less than $900. So these are 3 and 4 bedroom homes with 2 baths, all brick.
Energy Star rated.
Yes.
Yeah, so every home has to be Energy Star certified when we're finished.
And we have qualified 3 applicants as of today. One house, we do have the framing up,
Correct.
correct wording, the framing up, and that applicant is Emmett Malachi, who does live in Chesterfield County.
When do you expect to start building the second house and third? What's the timeline?
So once Brenda gets someone approved, usually it's about a month after that, because I have to come in and apply the permits for the town of Sherrod. I have to get all that approved, then I have to set up with Duke Energy and things like that. And then once that's all taken care of, we break ground. We started on Annette's house roughly about a month ago, and you see where we're at now.
That's good. I will comment. First one, we have over 30 million in Habitat loans, primarily in North Carolina, but look forward to expanding that program.
Yeah.
In Sherrod and throughout.
Yeah, we got because we got this neighborhood here, and then we got another one in North Carolina that I'm getting to work on too.
Right, and this will be a total of 13 lots.
Yes, 13 lots. out
So
there.
13 happy homeowners.
So that's what I was gonna ask, the 13, a total of 13
Yes,
homes
sir.
there?
There's going to be a total of 13 across the front of Stanley Road. There'll be 5 homes there. And then once you go down in the subdivision, you'll see where they're all going to be marked out right there. And the very end of the cul-de-sac, that's going to be kind of a green space area. So that's there. And then we had the Collegiate Challenge students here a few months ago from Boston. They helped us build the cover over the mailboxes out there. So we're going to finish that up. I worked with Sherrod High School. They're going to help me finish up that project. We just put a picnic table out there as well that our 2 guys, who were a bunch of retired gentlemen that volunteer their time, come into our office and build things for us. And they built us a picnic table that's out there right now. So that way, when there's students out there, they have a place to sit and wait for the school bus, or families can go up there and have a picnic and hang out.
Ms. Brenda, you might could answer this, you don't have to get into great detail, but what's their process for applying for that? Or would they do that?
Okay, first of all, they can go to the Sherrod Restore to pick up an application if they want to do that, or they can also go to our website and download that. And then they have to send in a series of documentation, tax returns, W-2s. I calculate the income, the debt ratio. We believe that they should only use 30% of the housing ratio. That way they have money left for emergency, savings, vacation. So teaching them about the importance of homeownership. They also go through our educational class as well.
I know the students there at Sherrod have been doing some stuff on campus as well, so getting a little bit ahead of the game, but what a great asset for them to learn on the job skills there.
We've since they've given some of their time to help us, we've also went over there and helped them work on that ball.
I get it.
Ball field as well. So,
Well, we're appreciative, very appreciative.
yeah.
Any other questions from council?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
Jeff. Appreciate you.
And if anyone is interested, I do have flyers available with contact information and some basic information about the Habitat program here in Sherrod, along with Ms. Parsons' contact information and the website for Union Habitat, which is overseeing this project. So I'll have those right here if anyone would like.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I'll hear comments from Father Jeff Wallace on grace-based grief response for children.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for allowing me to speak. And I took the low-tech route. Is there a way I can get these passed around to you guys? I got 2 things, actually. These are the PowerPoints. And these are my brochures. And they are slick. And it may have been our fault, typo. It's actually race-based grief resources for children, is what that is. And, well, guess what? I gave all of them away, so I don't have one. I trust there'll be one left, maybe. Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you very much. That's it. A year ago, we had our first meeting of Grace-Based Grief Resources for Children, and a year before that, I met with my friend Wayne Bird. I don't know if you knew him or not when he was alive. He's in Pawleys Island. He was a CEO for Turner Pageant Law Firm, and he is a friend, and he offered me his help in putting together a 501c3, and that's quite a work. If you've ever been through the process, it's 28 pages of information. But we did have our first meeting about a year ago, and so I am the executive director and the founder for Grace-Based Grief Resources. And one of the main things we do, 60% of what we do, is this, which I'll get around to what I'm asking from you. And that is these are children's care kits. And our motto and mission is based on Mr. Rogers, when he said his mother always taught him that when something terrible happens, look for the helpers. And so where the helpers are, there's hope. And so our mission is to help the helpers. And one of the ways we help them is this has a little blue blanket in it. It has a Build-A-Bear in it, Crayola crayons, and a coloring book. And so we not only work through first responders, but also later responders. And we have a list of those we work with. Just a couple of pages in, but I can tell you from memory that we work with Sean Jenkins Memorial Children's Hospital. We work with McLeod and their children's hospital. We work with Hands of Hope. It's a state program of a hospice for children. We work with Bridges of Hope. And one of the pictures in there is of a nurse who texted me to say that they put the Build-A-Bear in each child's bunk so that it was a surprise when they went to bed. These are for children, as our mission statement says, for children who are traumatized or bereaved in some way. And funeral directors, McAllister Smith is, in fact, Mark Smith has been very, very helpful. And they will be distributing these because when families have a loss, the children are also, affected greatly. So, personally, I might just mention I was a hospice chaplain for 16 years, 4 years clinical experience working in hospitals, once the director for a hospice. So this is kind of my area. I was motivated by seeing families who were bewildered as to how to care for the children. And I found that first responders were actually very good at knowing how to reach out to the children in the home. And they have follow-ups as well. And so with the victims' support, and they will deliver these to the children. That is probably the short version of what we do. We have an amazing board of directors. One is the chair is Stacy Rowell. Stacy is, and she's known in this area to a lot of the first responders. She is responsible for the mobile crisis unit. Whenever there's a critical event involving police officers, or especially involving children, they send from the Department of Mental Health a team who is there to care for the families. And so they'll have these as well. But she's the chair of our group. And also we have a psychiatrist, and we have a Coast Guard, was the deputy commander. We have a police chief on board, and so we have a really fantastic group. The only thing is that I wanted to get these movers and shakers, and God just put them in my path, but it never occurred to me that they would be so busy moving and shaking that they had no time to give up. So they are really an advisory committee. We operate through a community of volunteers. And that's about what I have. I'll just ask you to maybe take a look through this and learn a little bit more. What I'm asking from you guys is that I'm bringing this ministry from Charleston to, Charleston and Florence now, and Columbia and Myrtle Beach. That's where we've been. Now that I am the priest for St. David's and I'm living here, I want to develop this ministry for our first responders and our local chaplains and nurses and doctors and funeral home directors. So what I do is I'll deliver 50 of these, and what I'd like to do is deliver them to either the sheriff's department or the police department, where the DSS agents, when they have a really terrible situation to attend at a home, they can pick up one of these. Anybody can pick it up. One of the first responders can pick these up at the police station. So that's that. What I would like is to be able to put these in, and I'll talk to the various departments and chief and sheriff, and I'm sure I can work that out. So what I'd like from you is simply to help me introduce this. I would love a letter of introduction and endorsement from the council saying this is what I'm doing. I will also be visiting the chamber, but this is kind of why I'm here. This is my calling. This is not a ministry of St. David's, even though St. David's has been very supportive of me doing this. But I am, as I tell everyone, I am strictly Babdalutha Methapinapillion, okay? A little bit of everything. And as a chaplain, I serve anybody, and our mission statement says we are free of charge and free of racial, religious, or political bias. So, y'all got any questions? Was that my bell? So you can tell me whether we allow any questions. If not, I'm finished. So.
Jeff, what are your funding needs?
Wow, I'm glad you mentioned that. 50 of these are $30 each. We've been tempted to get lesser priced things. These are name recognition, so people know what we're doing. And these are $30 each. It costs us $1,500 every time we deliver 50 of these. So when I get a few $1,000s, I spend all of it on these. And I get virtually nothing. I get a tiny little bit, maybe $1,000 a month for what I do. But typically this is it. And on each one it says, "Dear child of God, your Build-A-Bear and blue blanket are for you to cuddle and hold close to your heart. They are gifts from the hands and hearts of GGRC volunteers. We have prayed for you and will continue to do so." Thanks for the answer.
How can they donate?
What's that?
How will they donate to your church?
Thank you for asking that. No, not to the church. Well, you could. They'll get it to me. But the best way to donate is ggrchelpers.org. There's a big donate button. I don't know if it's in there or not. It should be ggrchelpers.org. There's also on the back of every brochure, there's my address where you can send a check as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Father Jim.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for okay. This time we'll have comments from Edward Tinsley regarding safety on McCotter Street. Mr. Tinsley, you. we'll move on. Okay, at this time, we'll have recognition of May as Mental Health Awareness Month and ALS Awareness Month. That's right.
So first, Mayor and Council, I'd like to say that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and it is also ALS Awareness Month. Mental health is becoming an increasingly complex problem and an increasingly difficult problem in society that more and more people are facing. And so, this month, for instance, right now, the fountain on Centennial Park is dyed green at the request of Tri-County Mental Health. And we just wanted to recognize May as Mental Health Awareness Month for those suffering from mental health issues. We would also like to thank Tri-County Mental Health for the resources that they provide, and also our other mental health providers across the state for the resources they provide, especially to our first responders who sometimes see the things that the rest of us don't want to see each night. And so we do have a proclamation designating May as Mental Health Awareness Month.
A proclamation designating May as Mental Awareness Month, whereas this is a proven connection between good mental health and overall personal health, and whereas mental health affects almost every family in America, and whereas people with mental illness recover if given the necessary services and supports in their community, and whereas people with mental illness make important contributions to our families and our community, and whereas only 1 out of 2 people with serious form of mental illness seeks treatment for his or her mental illness. And whereas stigma and fear of discrimination keep many who would benefit from mental health services from helping. And whereas research shows that the most effective way to reduce stigma is through personal contact with someone with mental illness. And whereas good mental health is critical to the well-being of our families, communities, schools, and business. And whereas greater public awareness about mental illness can change negative attitudes and behaviors towards people with mental illness. Now, therefore, I, Mayor David Byrd, on behalf of the town of Cheraw, do by here proclaim the month of May 2024 as Mental Health Month. As Mayor, I also call upon all town citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental illness, reducing stigma and discrimination, and promoting appropriate and accessible service for all people with mental illnesses.
Mayor, we also have a proclamation designating May as ALS Awareness Month, and I know that's a personal issue to you, so I'll turn that over to you.
And I'll go quickly with this. If you see this mustache, this is not a fashion statement by me by any form or fashion. I included the month of May as a mustache with the mayor. Hopefully this will catch on in the future. Believe me, I'm having a hard time with it, but I do say this is near and dear to my heart. My sister passed in 2016. I have my mother here with me, Sue Buck, and my sister-in-law, Michelle Bird, with me. I also have with us John and Janet Carey, who dealt with this same deadly disease in the passing of their son Wayne. And I got to know that through John when he first come here. We got to talking a good bit as he was teaching at school with us there for some time, and had a lot of discussions about this deadly disease. And I thought it was appropriate to bring awareness to this devastating disease. Obviously, John and Janet just moving here, but felt like that had a connection between us, and being able to talk about that. I can only imagine what you guys went through. I know what my family went through. My brother-in-law and a young son at the age of, a daughter passing at the age of 47, when diagnosed, lived approximately 5 months. And so just a devastating disease that in the position that I am now would be more than glad to bring some awareness to this as well, like we do with all of our issues that we have going on these days. But just felt like it would be a great opportunity to honor those 2 families here today. I'll have to tell Mom I have your proclamation. Janet, we will have you come up and accept this proclamation on behalf of your son Wade. But at this time I will read that. A proclamation designating May as ALS Awareness Month. Whereas ALS ALS, known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a devastating neurodegenerative disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord, leading to progressive muscle weakness, paralysis, and ultimately loss of life. And whereas ALS awareness month provides an opportunity to raise awareness, promote understanding, and advocate for research, treatment, and support services for individuals living with ALS, their families, and caregivers. And whereas ALS Awareness Month honors the courage, resilience, and determination of individuals living with ALS who face daily challenges with grace, dignity, and unwavering strength, and who inspire us all with bravery and optimism in the face of adversity. And whereas ALS Awareness Month recognizes the tireless efforts of healthcare professionals, researchers, advocates, and organizations dedicated to advancing ALS research, improving care and supporting services, and advocating for policies that enhance the quality of life and well-being of individuals affected by ALS. And whereas ALS Awareness Month honors the memory of those who have lost their lives to ALS, remembering their strength, the courage, and legacy, and reaffirming our commitment to continue the fight until a cure is found. Therefore, I, David Byrd, Mayor of the Town of Sherrall, hereby proclaim May 2024 as ALS Awareness Month. As Mayor, I also call upon all town citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to commit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of ALS. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the town of Sherrall to be affixed on the 14th day of May 2024. If I could have Janet and John come up, and my mom.
And just so you know, there's more connection than ALS. This is our son,
Absolutely.
3 months after he was diagnosed. He was a college baseball player.
Want to share that here, Janet? Just want to show it to you. Is this on the thing? Come on, help me.
This was 4 years later, but as a baseball coach, he won a state championship. So baseball played a huge part.
Thank you, Janet. Well, at this time, I want to award you this in honor of Wade. Mom, I have yours, or Missy, but I want to give you this here today. And at this time, I just, whatever awareness that we can bring to this, obviously we've dealt with it. We know what you've dealt with, what a devastating disease it is. The more that we can get out there, the more awareness about it.
Well,
that's what we
no
do.
mother wants to bury her child.
Absolutely.
And it's an exclusive club that nobody wants to be in.
Absolutely. Congratulations. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very
And we
much.
will continue to follow that.
Council for your bringing this, but also it also has a mental health component, but that's another story for another day, and maybe a bottle of wine.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. At this time, appreciate everyone for attending that and giving us a little bit of time with that. Special to me and dear to, I know, those family members. This time, citizens' comments. Do we have any citizens' comments at this time? Okay. Hearing none, I guess we'll move to our next part on the agenda. The public hearing on proposed budget for the town of Sherrall for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. At this time, I'd like to just entertain a motion to enter into that. Council? Have a motion to enter in. You got a second? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Mayor, before we get into it, I'll start just to hit highlights on the budget. This year's budget calls for a general fund budget of $9,670,236, and that's unrestricted general fund against projected revenues of $8,611,344. We will have to pull from the fund balance $1,058,892 to balance the budget, which will leave us an estimated general fund unrestricted budget of $3,379,917, or a fund balance of 35%. The Municipal Association of South Carolina recommends maintaining a 20% fund balance. Within our restricted funds of the general fund budget, we have a requested budget of $315,000 with projected revenues of $100,000, and we will use $215,000 out of local accommodations tax to balance that budget, leaving an estimated fund balance of $139,810, or 44%. And within our state aid tax, which is our state accommodations tax that is given to us by the state, the requested budget is $135,250 with projected revenues of $70,000, requiring $65,250 from our reserve, leaving $151,649 in our fund balance, which is 112%. Additionally, within the hospitality tax fund, the requested budget is $633,090, with projected revenues of $451,000, which requires $172,590 to balance out of the fund balance. After drawing it down, the estimated fund balance remaining will be $268,187, or 42%. And on our water sewer fund, the total budget is projected to be $5,459,518 against projected revenues of $6,124,148, which requires zero fund balance to balance. So our estimated fund balance after that will be $1,462,726, or 27%. I just wanted to start off with that. And just go over the quick highlights of our budget. The town continues to be in good financial shape. This budget does not call for a tax increase, and the millage rate will remain unchanged at 160.81. This budget relies on raising water and sewer rates 10% in accordance with our 10-year rate study. The last 2 years, the town has raised rates 20%, and with this year's 10% increase, the utility system will operate at a net profit. Our utility system continues to require extensive upgrades, and in a high-cost environment where bids are coming in at 50 to 70% over projected costs. The town is also expecting to take out a large loan in the near future from the United States Department of Agriculture's Rural Development Program to cover part of the cost of constructing a new water plant, with a total project cost of $36 million. Garbage fees are increasing in this budget from $15 per month to $19 per month to cover costs associated with our new waste management contract, which is a 5-year contract. With those increases, along with the garbage fee increase, the new minimum monthly bill for customers inside the town of Terrell will be $63.96. This budget also includes a 3% cost of living adjustment for town employees. This budget includes an adjustment to building permit fees. The base rate for building permits will remain at $50. However, the fractions will change variously. This budget will finish upgrading town computer equipment that started 3 years ago when the town engaged with ATG to provide IT and cybersecurity system enhancements to the town. This budget will replace 7 vehicles, most of which are over 10 years old and are experiencing significant maintenance costs. It will also replace a dump truck, which is 24 years old and has reached the end of its life. That truck over the last 6 years has had over $17,000 in repairs. Local accommodations tax will be used to fund the development of construction plans for the Arrowhead Park expansion. The hospitality budget provides matching funds for the construction of a splash pad at Arrowhead Park, in addition to continuing to fund activities within the town. The budget includes funding a branding refresh for the town of Terrell after the town removed its previous slogan in 2021. State accommodations tax will be used to make accessibility upgrades to our parks, in addition to funding the town's familiar festivals. And lastly, the town will continue to fund our federal lobbyists, who to date has helped the town receive $4.5 million in federal funding and over $250,000 in in-kind support. So I just wanted to provide that brief introduction to council and the public before we kicked off the program.
Any questions? Rob, do we need to do the water and sewer different than that?
You can exit it.
Okay. So I get a motion. Any other questions or comment or discussion on that? Okay. Get a motion to exit. Got a second? Okay. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Our second one on the agenda is a public hearing on proposed increases for water and sewer rates for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025. Need a motion to enter into that proposed increases for water and sewer rates for the fiscal year ending into June 30, 2025.
So moved.
Get a second? Okay. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Rob.
Continuing off, as I mentioned, water and sewer rates will be going up 10% this year in accordance with our rate study. The new minimum bill will be $63.96 for customers inside city limits. For those outside the city limits who do not have trash service, of course, with us, the minimum bill will now be $85.12. And for our outside customers who do not have sewer, their minimum bill will be $43.23. The cost per 1,000 gallons is going up to $4.08 for those inside the town limits. For outside the town limits, the cost is going up to $9.79 per 1,000 gallons. And then there are 1 cent increases to each of our industrial rate classes as well. And our industrial sewer rate will be $4.94 per 1,000 gallons. Our out-of-town sewer rate will be $9.35 per 1,000 gallons of sewer, and in town will be $4.94 per 1,000 gallons. With that, just a little introduction.
Any questions, discussion, or comments on it? Okay.
Within the last 4 years, we realized that the water bill has been going up. And you got to understand that there are people in this town is not fortunate enough to be here every second Tuesday of the month to find out those information. What are we doing to inform the public, the citizen of this town? Why is the water bill keep on going up? I mean, I'm saying it again, within the 2 years, this water bill went up 4 times. Are we instructing our citizens of this community the purpose why? I'm still not having, including me, coming here. Why is this water bill keep going up? So I would like to know why. What is the purpose? Give us a reason. And not only me, the people that's not able to be here. Are we sending the citizens of this community here a letter to let them know? Because people are coming asking me. I ain't no town official. I'm just civil rights leader. So I think we need to instruct our people more. What is the purpose that water bill is going up and what we're trying to do in this town?
Thank you, sir. Okay. Well, good. Thank you, sir. All right. So we have that motion to exit. Okay, all right. So now we'll have that first reading of ordinance 2024 dash.
We need to exit.
I thought that's what I asked.
You did the motion.
I'm sorry. So we got a motion to exit. Got a second? I thought we had done it again. Got a second, okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jim. All right, first reading of ordinance 2024-10, or ordinance to raise and adopt a general operating budget for the town of Cheraw, South Carolina for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2025.
So in addition to preparing the budget, we have to pass an ordinance to adopt that budget each year. This is the ordinance to adopt the budget that has been prepared and presented.
Have a motion? A second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2024-11, an ordinance amending sections 19 19-7B1 and 2, and 19-51A and B of the Sherall Town Code increasing certain water and sewer charges.
This is the ordinance that goes along with the proposed rate increase for water and sewer charges. So this is the ordinance that enacts it.
Have a motion? So moved. Have a second? Any discussion, questions, comments? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 2024-12, an ordinance amending section 19-3B of the Sherall Town Code dealing with the disconnection of services.
So this has been something that's been talked about for a while, the past 2 years or so. So right now, the way it works is on the 16th of each month is when we have disconnection of services day. And we start the disconnect process at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. And if your services get cut off, then you have to pay a $25 reconnection fee to have your services turned back on. That gets added to your bill. Once we send that list out, if you're managed to beat the list, so to speak, beat the meter reader to your house, that service charge is not applied. And it creates a lot of confusion and administrative burden within our staff trying to organize that aspect of the disconnection of services system. And so one of the things that we were asked to look into a couple of years ago is that instead of having a reconnect fee for our services, we would just have a standard late fee. And the way that would work is it would be applied at 8 a.m. in the morning, and that way no one has an unfair advantage of, say, having their name appear last in the list before they get cut off and the fee gets applied to them or something along those lines. Tina, is there anything you'd like to add to this?
Right, this time around. It's burdensome, it's a lot of extra work, and what happens is if the customer comes to the window, that means we have to stop, we have to call the meter reader. The meter reader has to be, if he's out cutting off, we have to stop him from cutting off one of the ask whether or not he's been to a location. If he hasn't been to that location, then they have beat the meter reader there, so then that person doesn't get caught, but the person up ahead that hasn't gotten into the office yet, then the fee doesn't apply to them. And so trying to make sure that we not cut people off, and the meter reader said that they could do their job better if we allowed it not to interrupt them when they start the process. So this will stop the process from you get in before I get in, because if you're in the last route, which we call Route 13, that means that you're always getting disconnected, and the people that are in Route 1 normally can get in before the other. You could be in 13 and not get a car from the ones that the one actually can be cut off. So it's beginning to be a very hostile environment in the office for us on cutoff. And that's the reason we're seeing it, that it's for the safety of the staff, that we kind of just play this on an even field, and everybody be done the same way.
Okay, do I have a motion? So moved. Have a second?
Second.
Any discussion, questions? One thing I would like to ask Rob, with the late fee, does that immediately cut those off, or does that extend that time? Yes, that's.
It doesn't extend the time. The cutoff and the disconnect and reconnect process would still work the same. It would just reduce the burden on our staff and the unfairness of the system as it exists now.
All those in favor of the motion? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, our next ordinance is ordinance 2024-13, an ordinance amending section 7-3 of the Sherall Town Code dealing with garbage fees.
So this is part of the budget where we signed a new contract with Waste Management last year, and their fees went up about $4 per customer on us. In addition, we've seen an increase in garbage fees at our landfill where we do debris pickup. So that monthly fee that's for garbage on the bill, that pays for your curbside debris service and for your garbage service. And so in order to continue to cover those costs, this is increasing those fees from $15 a month to $19 a month.
Have a motion? Have a second? Second. Any questions or discussion on that? So Rob, we would basically be picking up that fee that was incurred to us from the bank.
Yes, we try to remain revenue neutral on garbage fees.
Just let that one road. Okay. Call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, ordinance 2024-14, an ordinance amending section 4-5 of the Sherrall Town Code dealing with building permit fees.
This would increase building permit fees as they go up. They go into a step system. So the first $500 worth of work is $50. Or excuse me, the first $5,000 worth of work is $50, and that's going to remain unchanged. But as it steps up from say $50,000 to $100,000, that will go up from $5 per $1,000 increment to $6 per $1,000 increment. And then once you get into the $100,000 to $500,000 range, it's going from $4 per $1,000 increment to $5 per $1,000 increment. So it's a slight change, and this covers CPI adjustments within our contract with Safe Built.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Comments? Take call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next on is resolution. A resolution 20-204. A resolution authorizing the town manager to enter into an interjurisdictional agreement with the town of Chesterfield for the provision of sewer services and execute all documents related thereto.
So we currently treat sewer to the town of Chesterfield. So it travels down Highway 9 and ends up in our waste treatment plant. We've had an agreement governing this arrangement for the past 20 years since we've been doing it. However, during an EPA review last fall, they require a different level of agreement and documentation than what we have. So instead of just an agreement, we have to have a jurisdictional agreement. This has been reviewed by Doug Stowe, who unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight to explain it in greater detail. It's also been reviewed by the EPA, and they're the ones requiring it. It's been reviewed by our attorney. So as presented in the packet, there should be minimal changes as it goes through approval process in Chesterfield as well. If there are any major changes or changes to the way procedures work within that IJ, I will bring it back to council.
Motion for resolution 2020.
So moved.
Second. Any questions, discussion?
Rob, I have one question. The rate we're charging is the same rate we charge our industrial users. 3.79. I don't see that in here.
I'd have to go back and double check. The rate that's in the IJ is the rate that we're charging.
Which is the same sewer rate I think we charge industrial. Thought we did that, but
Let me double check.
Call for the vote. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, B, resolution 21-2024, a resolution authorizing the town manager to enter into contract with Hannah Engineering to design roadway improvements in the Egerton Street neighborhood as part of the CDBG project.
So earlier this year, the town was awarded $750,000 to make comprehensive neighborhood improvements along Maynard Street, Egerton Street, Jericho Street, Godfrey Street, East Green Street, and Ingram Street. And as part of that program, we will be resurfacing all the streets in that neighborhood. Those streets have to be designed to DOT standards, so we have to hire an engineer to do the design work before we can build it out. After reviewing the proposals that were submitted, the committee, which was composed of me, Patty, and Tina, felt that Hannah Engineering was the most qualified to render these services, and their contract came in at $94,500, which is currently within the budget and will be reimbursed to us.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second? Second. Any questions, discussion? 21-2024. Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. C, Resolution 22-2024 is a resolution authorizing the town manager to enter into contract with Harper General Contractors to make improvements to the Sherall utility system as part of the town skip grant.
So this is the first of 3 bids we're doing as part of our infrastructure program. This is a $10.5 million grant, of which the town is paying for the engineering fees, which is roughly $1.2 million. This bid came in, there were 2 bidders. The low bid came in at $1.3 million. So this money will be all reimbursed to us after the project is completed. This project is primarily going to fix the grit removal system at the waste treatment plant, which because of storm drains and different cracks in pipes and all kinds of things, people flushing stuff down the toilet, hard particles do get into our sewer system, and if those aren't removed, they can be severely damaging to machine components inside the waste treatment plant. This system hasn't worked for quite some time, and so it's good to get it back up and running. Additionally, this is going to replace the generator and do electrical work at pump station number 1, which is the pump station that collects most of the sewer for the town of Sherall. If we lose power down there and the generator doesn't start up, we'll have quite a few sewer backups pretty quick within the town. So it's important to get that done.
Okay, have a motion for resolution 22-2024. Got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. D, Resolution 23-2024 is a resolution to declare council members as active employees of the town of Sherall for the purpose of participating in the state insurance benefits program.
So we have an employee insurance program that is run through the Public Employee Benefits Program, PEBA. And historically, town council members, we've always provided health insurance to town council members as employees of the town. The PEBA board recently passed a resolution that gave cities an opportunity to declare whether or not they wanted council members to be considered employees when it comes to receiving health insurance coverage. I suppose that's been an issue in other parts of the state. So this is a one-time thing. This resolution, if passed, would declare town council as employees for the purposes of receiving insurance benefits from the town of Sherall, which again, we've done in the past and continue to do, and no reason not to continue to do it in the future.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. And a second? Any discussion? Okay. Call for a vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. E, Resolution 24-2024 is a resolution authorizing the town manager to execute all documents necessary to purchase land on Highway 1 and Robbins Street, known locally as Robbins Field.
So this is a proposed location for our new fire station. This is 7 acres of land on US Highway 1 and Robbins Street. It would be the perfect spot for a new fire station. It's been vacant for a number of years. It's close to the current fire station, so it wouldn't interrupt the rural fire district. It has good access to industries and residences within the community. It has water service, it has sewer service, and it has enough space for both the station itself and a proposed training ground, which will further help our ISO rating. We are looking for $4.5 million in federal funding to help construct a new fire station, which we hope will come through later this year. Looking at the land itself, it does meet our needs in terms of size. Additionally, a Phase 1 environmental report returned no concerns associated with the property, so it got a clean bill of health environmentally. In addition, we had an appraisal conducted, and it appraised at $215,000, which we made an offer of $150,000, and the owner accepted. This is a resolution that would authorize me to execute that land sale so that we can pick it up.
Have a motion to set resolution 24-2024.
So moved.
Have a second? Okay. Any questions, discussion on that? Rob, I will say this, the old fire, we had this being an extra amount on the fire trucks that we get that are new because they won't fit in that building, correct?
Yeah, So there's two main issues with our current fire station when it comes to equipment. The first is that we do have to get our trucks custom made to fit in there because the station is from the 80s. That does add cost, and most importantly, it adds time to the delivery of those systems. Additionally, new trucks are much heavier than trucks were in the 80s, and that structure was just not designed to handle that increased weight. And so we've seen structural issues developing from the Bay Area as well. I did consult with other cities and architects as well. The cost for renovating an existing fire station is actually higher than building a new one altogether.
Thank you for that information. Okay, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, move on to the next agenda. 14 is a request from Police Chief Julius Riley to enter into an MOU with Darlington County.
So this came, Chief Riley came and spoke to council at the March council briefing. And one of the suggestions at the time was seeking MOUs with Darlington County, Marlborough County, and also redoing our one with Chesterfield County, since those are the adjacent counties. This would allow us to share police resources with the Darlington County Sheriff's Department and just increase our relationship with them.
Have a motion? Have a second?
Second.
Have any questions or discussion on this one? Yes? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, request from town manager to accept proposal from the Rural Growth Initiative. Rob.
So one of the things we've talked a lot about in the last year and a half or so within the town is housing and the lack thereof, or the lack of new housing development. And so one of the proposals I've seen is to attempt to attract remote workers to the town of Toronto. We recently had fiber optic cable installed throughout most of the town. So this is a group that works with attracting remote workers to a city. And the idea behind this is that these people would be able to assist with infill development in our existing subdivisions where vacant lots are occurring. This is part of kind of a three-pronged approach at building up the city. So this would be one aspect of it with remote workers. The other is having Habitat for Humanity here, their subdivision, to help work on affordable housing with us here in the town of Toronto. And then we are also in the early stages of trying to partner with industries and developers to try to get additional housing growth here within the city. So this is just another way to try and get some growth happening in the city. And this would be funded out of the Community Development Checking Account at a cost of $5,700.
I have a motion. So moved. Have a second? Second. Any discussion? Rob, just a quick tidbit on that for information. So we would be encouraging people not necessarily to have to live in a certain area. They could live in Toronto or work somewhere else.
Yes.
Open that opportunity up for our town. I'll call for the vote this time. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next up is activity reports. Council, you have those reports. We'll have a motion to approve those reports. Have a second?
Second.
Any questions or discussion on that? No. Okay, all right. We don't need to have a motion for that. So we'll move on. Any questions with the activities report? Everybody good with those and having that information? Don't need to vote on it. Thank you, Ron. All right, next, at this time, I will, executive session, request to go into executive session to discuss the proposed sale of land on Front Street.
I make a motion, we go into an executive session.
Okay, have a second? Any questions, discussion? All those, call for vote, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. I tell you what,
I got you, okay. Well, I
Your name has to be, your name does have a name. Questions of you. Some say no, some say yeah.
My dad's weird like that, because I was named after him.
I just couldn't say it, and I.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I think. Thank you so much.
All All right.
That's just my natural. Yeah, that's just my natural. I smell that. That's just my natural. I'm sorry, I'm a worker. What you put drink?
I'm about to call Dennis.
I want some salmon rice. I want salmon rice and fat bag. I bet if I put this I didn't want to
We did get like an hour and a half or 2 hours for lunch because there was nothing but Subway across the street or the Sheraton. Other than that, you had to get on the bus or your car or Uber somewhere to go eat. But it was session.
You don't have to get them, but
I guess it was
that's good. That's good. Yeah, salmon is not that. I'm not doing my food. I don't eat that salmon rice and fat.
over 2,000 people.
Wow.
And they said over 700 were first time Main Street developed or something. Over 700.
That's impressive.
That even somebody from Japan. A lot of people from California, Missouri, Illinois.
Don't bring back no ideas, we ain't got no money.
Do what?
Don't bring back no California ideas, we don't have that kind of money.
California alone.
No, because we ain't got that kind of money.
I ain't worried about that money. We don't get no ideas either.
They're gonna have a lot of issues going on back in California right now. I'm gonna lose it. I tell them all the time, I listen to the news all the time.
Well, if you mess around, the whole state gonna fall on the nerves.
Right. I have a lot going on though, I mean, and I like to watch, the talk shows, but if you get to see all that stuff going on, they play on the reality show. What is it, Live Peter? Yeah, Live Peter, I just love it. I watch that, every time I get a chance, I look at that thing.
She said, you don't watch it. I said, for what? I see it all the time.
Right.
I don't watch it now.
It's me.
Now, I watch the first 48.
That is
I watch the first 48.
Yeah, but I kind of get a little upset with the first 48. I don't know why.
Sometimes.
Because sometimes people seem like sometimes it seems like the people they're not moving. I can see it already. Why y'all ain't seeing it, just and then the 48, and then you have these people that go in and they lie in the interrogation room and they sit in the line. I'm like, well, you had something to do with it. Why would you sit there and just go ahead and tell the truth?
You put me in a room outside in my face, I'll tell you whatever you want.
I tell you, I just go ahead and start spill my juice. Okay, here it is. This how it happened. But I enjoy watching them. I just love it. You know, the first 48, and then I like to watch alone. We put those people in the
about somebody doing it.
on the hours
somewhere.
Naked
and afraid.
and afraid. That's me.
So we go up here on an island, you know how to get out.
Yeah, you want a partner, but we are
Right. I can tell you how to build fires. I can tell you what you can look for to eat and what you should be eating. And I mean, you can look at the leaves, and I know that person tree puts out black tar that's poisonous to you. You have to be careful for that, and you can figure out how to start. You can even start how to start fires and how to dry out.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go play, but if I get caught out there.
Right.
And then if you want to catch water, she want to get on the porch. You can build a tent with a tarp, and then you can take it and go at an angle.
One war away from.
You go there, and then you can get your water. When it rains, you catch the water on the side, and that's how you stay hydrated. Because the rain, the water will run down to the side, and you got a trench there, and you get your fresh water to drink that way. I mean, looking at this.
boy, did y'all hear about us down there, that big flood we had? It's about to come back into the multi-purpose room, so that door.
Again?
Ken was out there with his boots and a rake, all that mulch. Today. It was really bad, and I didn't know how bad it got to Jasmine called. She said, you may want to move your car. I said, why? She said, look at on the cameras. I pulled the house up. Oh my God. So mine was on the left, but the water was about like that, and it got my tennis shoes that I had on soaked. And then, but the one over close to the multi-purpose room, all those cars, that water was so high. So high.
Listen,
I'm so
I
glad.
stood in that intersection and tell you what, and waste need water,
Really?
push some cars over. Yeah.
Today?
Boy, no, not that. Waste need water.
I remember when the flood came, and I was down at that place. I mean,
The
and then-
whole gym floor.
right, it was moving.
You stepped up on it, the whole thing rocked.
It was just moving, and then when they told us, and we had more, oh, I'm gonna drown, I'm like, oh, hush, man, you can't do this, don't panic. We need to get everybody out. So we were I had just finished feeding the people.
We loaded on them,
And
warm truck.
I always wanted to ride on the back of one of them things until I got them. I had no
The
idea.
warm truck.
Oh,
The big
I
warm
never,
truck.
you have to step up to them, when you okay? Of course, I want this truck, now we ready to go. But when they slap that flap down on your face, and you in the back of that thing, and it goes total black dog. And so I had to go
Water
to the
in the
first
front
floor.
parking lot of the red department. The police car, like seeing the drive the car, it was at the window of the car, in the front parking lot of the door.
And my son had a truck, he had a pickup truck, and it was on big wheels. It was coming in the doors in his truck. And but when we even drove out in the Army, the National Guard trucks, the water was up to their tires almost, coming out of there. And then you got these women, and you got the babies, because I had the women and the babies going out. And the children, when you close that flap down on them, they started crying, and they're like trying to comfort them. And so I got the first, when we got to the high school with them, you couldn't jump out the truck. They had to back up to the picnic tables for us to get off out of the truck to go in. And then we took them in, and soon I was trying, like, how we gonna get all these people fed again? Because we left all our food down there. So then, I don't know where this truck came from, but they brought hot dogs, and we were feeding everybody hot dogs, and was cooking them outside.
You had a little bit cots up.
I
Man, it was
remember
just so
some of that happening, because it seemed like I was at DSS during that time, and they were talking about because, you know,
We had DSS too. Yeah, we had DSS
but
council.
I didn't ever have, for some reason, I didn't have, I don't know, how they got it.
I had like time, we want to take somebody to the hospital, we went to the hospital, come on,
That's what I'm saying, but it was unreal. And then we came down, we had to go upstairs, and we had to come out the fire escape because we could no longer come out of the gym. The gym floor, my son said, Mom, look, the water was at the basement, coming out of the basement into the, and it started coming out the stage area, out that vent in front of the stage, and the water was coming out of there. So we were trying to get all these people up and out. When I stepped out, now I'm a tall woman, the water was above my knees. When I stepped down out of that place,
I was a year about it.
Lord, I said, you got me good about here. I thought Mike Smith would never call me to come down here.
That one was in that car in the intersection, and the little rescue squad was like, we want to go get the boat. I said, no, we ain't push this car. So I'm going to get the boat. They're going to sit in the car. Please, I mean, waste me water in my life. No, shit, we got to push this good.
Right. It's one of the, I've never seen anything like it in my life. National Guard, luckily the National Guard had just gotten there and was going to sleep there overnight. So we were feeding them stuff at National Guard, so we was putting out the cops for the National Guard to have some place to have. I don't know, but
19?
I don't know, but
18, 19? Right phones. That's it.
all I can tell you, that was something. When I tell you that was something, that was something. It was, and you know, just the hills, babies crying to have fear, and then people trying to pack up their belongings because the water was coming in on them. But when you walk on that floor, you could feel the floor just moving. I mean, I had never seen anything like it, and the water was rushing. We put boards up to the front door at the mama's office. We put them at the glass doors, entrance doors. It did not even stop. The water was, it was just unreal. I was just like, this is awful.
Well, I told the kid to take the video because I had left my phone on my desk when I went out and moved my vehicle. I said, take the video, let Rob see how this water has come in.
But
And
see,
it
that's
kept breaking mulch,
But
and
see-
then kind of start going down that.
See, that's the thing, that if those grates get stopped up and the water will not move down the drain fast.
If it would have continued to rain, it would have came right in there. Like that day, it came in the multi-purpose room. I was like, what in the world?
Well, all I can tell you is that's a day that you do not want to ever see again. I just pray I've never seen that again. I always thought I'm riding a National Guard Army truck. I thought, this is it, boy. This is the life. And when that got, my fat butt got up on there and they let that flap down on me.
I'm saying they got suspended, whatever it is.
And I'm telling you, then you got to try to hold on, and you don't have anything harder to hold on because you're trying to help parents that have more than one child. You're trying to hold on to some of those children, and they're crying, and because it's darkness, so then we start cutting on our phones, but you didn't want to lose your power to your phone because that was your only connection because you didn't know if you were going to want your charger. I got them people fed that evening, about 11:30 that night. I said, I'm going to my house. Because Mike had called me that morning and said, Tina, we got a shelter open, and I need you to feed the people. And I got IGA, and I had just got my grocery in the buggy, enough food to feed all the people to cook. I didn't have no pots, because I left without pots. I had taken big old aluminum pans I bought from the IGA, and I cooked grits. I said, my son and my mom's house, you get one pot. And I cooked grits and eggs and sausage and gave me toast. I was cooking that morning and had jelly and everything for me, coffee. But I tell you, and so I had done breakfast, and then I did lunch. I stayed the whole day, I did lunch. And they had those ready meals. I couldn't eat it though. I don't know how those people ate that thing. Those Army ready meals. They had that, and you had to give them that for supper. We were just passing those out for supper when the war started flowing. I'm telling you, I just to see it was, when you see it was coming up, you just see, oh, look at it. Jason said, oh, look at that water. I thought, whoa. And I started hollering, we got to do something, Mike, look at this. And then they started coming out the stage of it. And I thought, oh, this is it. And so some people were up on the stage. We haven't put them on the stage, some of them. But we put them on the stage to get them down, but to get them off the floor. But when you got water coming from under the stage, you don't know if it's going to cave in. And the people could fall in, so then you got to get them out of there. I want to say, we're going to drown in here, we're going to drown. I want to say,
Every once in a while, we get somebody that remembers something about the flood, because they ask about the floor. It's not the same floor. I'm like, no, it's not the same.
I'm going to tell you something, that thing was
That whole floor.
right. You could have sat down and just been like in a boat. Floor. That's it. The floor stayed together, but it was just that terrible.
It had been moved back in. Because I don't know, so now I just know.
It was
people that inquire about putting bouncy houses on them, like, no, we don't do bouncy houses.
It was a solid one floor. Man, that thing was so terrible. I don't ever want to see that as long as I live in the room. I pray I never see that again. Don't you look up that during the truck or something, Lord. I'm not going to be quick on that truck. I need no good for you. You know, but it's a lot of people, a lot of people lost a lot of things during that time. Plus, unless we ended up paying the time to pay that, had to get over $1 million in damage again. There's over $1 million in damage. Coming out. Thanks.
I'm gonna send you an email with some itemized.
Look at that.
Itemized account so I can see if wrong bills.
No. I did all the things, I added all that stuff up again. We down to the end. We talking about transitioning. We transitioning. Man, we so deep in transitioning. We can't unlock.
Can I just get what's in there now so I know?
And I'm telling you also, I'm not changing lines. I'm not switching lines. I'm not going to say we can go ahead and spend because it doesn't. Like say take this out of this.
And next time I'm gonna put a note on now.
You start
send it and tell do not change this code.
I changed a lot of them recently.
Do not change.
But I changed a lot of them before. I did about 8 of them, and my neighbor last month. I just did about 8 of the changes that went back and changed, of changing the codes and
Because I know she was questioning, I'm like, no, just like the ones for Night Bingo for Summer Prizes. I said, no, I advertise this as team night. These team and a lot of prizes put things for teenagers, even though we didn't have a lot there. I said, advertise for that just like I advertised for 2 more, more tickets. And I gave away 2 that night. I said, this receipt should be team. So I don't know if she changed it by the time she got to y'all or not.
You might better make sure you bring your own account.
Well, I put the account number on there. So,
But we down to the wire now, though. You know, I'm gonna give you a new sheet tomorrow. Matter of fact,
I had thought, look, Travis is going to that conference, one of the vendors I talked with, and I thought, okay, maybe I can buy this out of this year's budget so I can use soon. And they sent me the online brochure, and something I was going to use out there during the holidays. Well, that one thing was $12,000. I was like, what in the world? This is a decoration to put out there that say, you know, it's out there for the whole month. But the one I really want was an ornament, this big ornament, and you put like people
Like Walmart has that.
$30-something thousand.
Oh, you too busy. We ain't got that.
But Walmart has that. It's like it's an ornament, and it's all lit up with clear lights, and they can stand in it. Yeah, it is. I'm just saying it's pretty, but
It was
$35,000.
And I kept looking, I was like, oh man, they got some nice stuff.
It's a car.
They had the pictures on the booth, but like I said, I signed up to get the
Better start trying to figure out how we can build one, buddy.
and the LED lights. This guy, I really stood at his group talking, and instead of changing the light bulbs out there, these were all LED.
It's not my money, but I'm giving these people. Don't you see those people sitting there? They hold me accountable, and not just them others. Let a department go over budget. They don't call y'all. I get chewed out for it. I'm so tired of being chewed for other people's problems. My butt doesn't go out. I'm not doing it anymore.
I want the light cover.
Look, we can't get new pencils. We have to put the erasers on the pencils.
The pencil's still good. What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying that's how we get out. That's how we look out. I'm for it. I'm for it.
But she gonna see when it doesn't take you but one time for them to make you have to answer for
What
one.
was it you told me? You would be so glad when I got tired of being, what was it about pretty? I didn't want pretty things anymore. My day would come and I didn't want anything pretty, and I was gonna take ragged, second-hand stuff.
Go on, fish. Go on, fish.
What no? What you say?
My fish.
You want your pistol?
It ain't come yet. It's coming. I told his 10-year. He got
Oh, that's fine. You know, things like that's fine. But honestly, and then when if y'all go over in budget, they none of this. They go straight to the auditors, and the auditors come straight to the team. Why did you let it go over? Because if you're over finances, you are supposed to watch it there. I watch this money more than I watch my own. I do. I first started in this position. I was messing around worried about these people like this so much. Let mine got cut off because I had to pay my own. Because you see a stack of light bills like this a month. I thought I saw the blue and white bill being paid, but it wasn't mine. It was China Sharona. I put everything I have now on draft. Everything's on draft for me. I mean, I can't do what you can't worry about. You worry about this. I go to bed and I worry about this place. Making sure that I have enough money to take care of this place. Making sure, you heard me say, Rob said, we're financially sound. I know you're financially sound. That's all I'm gonna say. Still, you better go and do something. I did buy some erasers. I got a whole big box full of erasers in there. I even got some to take your hand from writing, you know, so you won't have to hurt your hand.
Madison said she'll never.
Yeah, can you get mechanical ones?
We too rough for those. She can't replace.
They break them up
the
too much.
lid. And Madison said, "I'm never going to use pencils on Tina." And I said, "Yes, you will, because whiteout's too expensive."
Well, she's going to use a pencil too, because eventually those mechanical pencils will disappear. Them are two pencils. That stuff will disappear.
Yolanda, she take her name on all.
That's fine, but you know, we have people that do that. You don't own the pencils and pens. They ain't yours. If you bought with our money, it's not yours. So
That's what I said.
I take them all. I always take the things and shred them off. Take them apart off the third.
It was about 20 e-pens, and she took them to write her name, and then take them.
You took that during blood openers. Well, I mean, she buy some of her own stuff, you know. She buy a lot of stuff, you know. And when you start having to be accountable for this stuff, you see a whole different life, you know. You can't even say now that you're having to be dealing with your own department, that you can't see that money don't grow like it used to on trees, you know? It don't grow on trees. You got to be able to say, this is what I'm gonna do. It's all about a budget. Everything's about a budget. But if it goes over, and I'm even dreading, they're coming in June. This is my last council meeting too.
Oh, look at that.
Next month I'm going, I was supposed to have retired at the end of this month. So next month I'm taking my retirement leave.
Sabine, we need the link to do a big article.
No,
Tina
no.
from her retirement, June 30th, after 42 years.
No,
She has worked her way from the bottom to the top.
We need salmon and rice.
Yeah.
We need salmon and rice, that.
No, the salary never came to me. Salary never came. I am still underpaid for the things that you prefer me to put up with.
You do go a lot.
I'm underpaid. They ain't gave me my money. I went over there today and signed for my social security. They said, ma'am, if you would just stay to 67, you would be able to increase your check by $500. I said, no, I'll just eat a mayonnaise sandwich one day a week. I'm going home. You think I'm gonna put in 3 weeks for my money for me to die? And my money, and then because my money will, my social security, my husband will be able to draw from my social security. But somebody has to be living off my money. Another I've been struggling all these years, and then she walking around with all my new business on the I get dressed, baby. Gee, we got good money now.
She don't work.
It worked out for you.
Hey, look, she can live the retirement life off Tina's.
That's why I say no, I'm going home.
I'll eat a mayonnaise sandwich.
I told her, I said, man, I eat a mayonnaise sandwich.
That's a wish sandwich.
No.
Wish sandwich.
That was pretty good.
I'm good. I've got me some tomato plants growing in the backyard, and I got tomatoes on my plant. It's already, I'm growing me my own garden, I'm gonna grow a garden. I thought about raising some chickens out there in the yard.
You scared to death of a chicken.
I know. She looked at me, he pecked at me one time, I cut his head off.
We need to fry.
I don't eat yard chickens.
How you know they're not your chickens in the grocery store?
That's the good thing about it, I don't know.
Tina, come to the house and go fishing and catching some fish on the spot. No.
See, I'm the same way that my parents did. We'll go fishing all the time. Then I'm like, I'll catch them for you, but I'm not cleaning.
I'm not eating. I don't want to clean it.
Really?
That's a hard fish. She got a little muddy taste to it. You know, taste is good.
They taste better than fried fresh fish.
No, the fish out of the pond has a muddy taste to it. You go to some fresh water and get you a fish out there. Go to the stuff. Go far enough out there, and I want to get you some crocus and some bread from out there in that water. I ain't gonna eat no fish out there. Talking about a chicken, I don't even want to eat fresh hog if I see you cut it up. I ain't eating that fresh out there. And I'm saying it now, but I might have to.
Trying to.
Yeah, look at that check. Okay, I might eat.
But I just tell you what, but this, we knew this one was on. Didn't I tell you hour and a half? Hour and a half, we're gonna be a meeting. We're gonna be there.
Yay.
Oh, for real? When you get paid, at least you can get paid on that. I don't even get to take my time off, man. I don't even get nothing. Some department heads get to take their days and trade them out. It'll be all right though. It's gonna get better. Y'all get to this age. Y'all get to the right age. Sunday I was 64 years old. And she said, well, one more year, and one more year can't take me but $100. I'm good with that too.
Nothing I've been saying for the longest. I need to schedule the appointment to find out
So
how many years. No, for the retirement. How many years?
And you can't make an appointment.
You can.
No, I was trying to make an appointment. She said, ma'am, we don't accept appointment. I left Sharon at 7 o'clock one morning, 7:15. I got down there at 8:30, in the parking lot. And I walked over in, and nobody was in it, but one person did me, and they called him on back, and I was the first one to do, once I sat down, and I went on in the back, and probably 30, 45 minutes, I was out. And, I wondered, and I told man, I said, man, I said, the little secretary, I said, you have a really nice day. I come out, I was feeling good, and just got to the security guard, I said, so wonderful day, sir. He said, you mighty happy? I said, yes, it's over. And I got outside and I thought, okay, Tim, I want you to jump up and kick your heels together. You know how to
Oh, Lord.
And then I thought, you're going to have your hip broke through and you're going to be able to do it. I said, I better keep my feet on the ground. I put my pocketbook on my arm like this right here. And I did step very proudly. I stepped. But you can't make no point. They don't take no points.
Because I'm just trying to see by chance if any rules that change where you can count North Carolina State government. That way I could be 6 years closer.
I don't think you can transfer states like that, no.
Well, you know how rules can change.
But you better keep
And they do change.
And the last, when was the last? Probably over 10 years ago when I
You got
first
that
started.
camera for. You got that camera for.
Because I gotta take your pictures.
Oh, I was gonna say, you said if you're trying to take the record all we got going, man, don't make me read it.
If, we're doing visitors guide, and, we get pictures of the council members.
Yeah, I forgot they do have pictures, you can be aware.
Everybody know.
But they still have to come back in and do the session and close it and everything. And
Maybe it's like people ain't got home.
Still got to come back in, you don't never know who downstairs waiting on us. Cause I didn't know, especially when $25 fee gonna get a lunch jacket. They gonna be ready to fight, but you know, it's a terrible. But you know, y'all don't know what we go through on Friday. Those people, when I tell you, they curse us out and they throw things at us almost and
Slam our door.
The other day I told a man he could not get a food truck license because he wasn't in the right order of his stuff. And he hollered, he fussed over, he screamed. He went out that door. If it had been that much more, he would have shattered our glass and shit. I hit him.
What food truck?
No, don't do stuff like that now.
You send us out there when they wrong?
Right, no, but he didn't get that far though. He went out there. But he went out there. She went out there. And I called, and I had him removed from out there.
Oh, it's like I'm working on that.
And he got removed, but and then my crazy self, I go out into the hall. I went out into the hall. Yeah, but people never poison us really.
What they do, not renew?
Huh?
What they do, not renew?
But if you're not so much as you know, but you can't get a food truck license without the fire department inspecting your food trailer. The state law says that they have to be inspected, and there's certain things that they have to have on that food truck. If you don't have it, the fire department won't catch. Well, that day he came in, there was no fire inspectors at all. Monday through Thursday, that was the only day that they would ask the one time that not a fire inspector was on duty. Man, he came back recently, and I said, I guess you're gonna get upset with me again today? And he said, no, he went on doing nothing while he started looking back at me, and then you might pull something out on me. He's trying to get up out of here.
You just made me remember, I put on that statement that all the ones for Independence Celebration event that they must bring me their town of Chihuahua business license and their liability insurance. And I think only one have done it thus far. But only 5 have turned in that.
The circus world, baby.
He's one of them. It's his license card.
Yeah.
But see, you may get mad. Everybody's not going to be accepted. And he's going to call up here for long. Because I'm not having 18 again this year. I'm not. That's too many out there at the football field. The most we need is like about 12.
Somebody's got their liability because that got sent to me. Kettle.
I think it might be the little people that do it.
From some, I didn't send them anything about independence this year.
You talking about one with the good juice?
Yeah.
They didn't send us their liability. She's still on that.
That juice, that's the best juice.
And I didn't put the application online either. I only sent it to about 20 local vendors only. Because I was trying to patronize our local ones until someone made a comment, church, we get local people all the time. Can you bring people from out of town?
I know, but I'm out there trying to get me the juice, that's the best juice I.
It is,
I'm
it
out
really
there.
is.
It was in here.
I know it ain't gonna be this year, I'm gonna be in Florida.
It really is a really good lemonade, but,
I know it is.
I was trying to just do local.
But
But like I said, but all the locals can't do it. And then, today, Speedy called me for application. Speedy at high school, when he's in Bennisfield, that's why I hadn't sent him one. Another lady out of Bennisfield, and I'm like, and I went ahead and sent him the application,
See, you
said,
gonna mess around, need some people from Troy will put no applications in.
and they went to the last minute. I just told them, stop making us an option when everybody else is making us a priority and getting their application. Stop making us an option and getting it to me the day of the deadline day or after the deadline day. And then you're gonna call up here at first.
You ain't gonna have nobody there. But I can show you a list, I can show you who we've got already, that's, I mean, we got about, I think I said her about, the lady out of Tech, food trucks go out of Tech now.
Yeah, so.
They got, so I gave her a list of, food shoot, I gave her a list today of the people that.
So
are
it's
actually- Shannon Justice.
Yeah,
I
she
got
had
that.
posted that, and then she called me before she put the post out, wanting to know what form did I use. I'm like, well, my application is just a generic one. I said, I don't think it'll work, which I tried to do.
And so she's got some more that's gonna be coming. But, it's a challenge, I mean, you just can't walk in here and get a food truck license. They know people that wait till the last minute for food trucks. And see, some of them don't realize they need to get them inspected before you're ready to set up and serve. I got one right now. I gotta make sure the next time I catch you in town, I called her, she was heading out of town the last time, went down number one with that trailer. And I passed almost, I said, Lord, turn my husband, so we can turn the car around, run chasing them all the time. He said he got his pistol on, but he didn't want to have to use it.
We should know.
I mean, I do have to go out to the places. I go out there and talk to you in little trailers and stuff. Went out there and brought the one man's back last week.
She went to Unity. She took them there, so I said, well, you must not order while you're there.
After we get my money from the
She
business
said,
license.
after I get the business license, I will. Thank you.
We can't eat from them if it's not.
One of them used to roll from us all the time, and she would do a grocery store, a parking lot drop off, and we couldn't eat from that place to stay our life, and that was some good
I don't care about she got a license.
Yeah, she-
I called this time, I said, you tell her and give me a courtesy call. You're gonna go home for stuff if you don't know that. And you're just trying to, because what's the bad part about it? You gotta remember, you got restaurants downtown. They have all of this expense. Then you got people that have food trucks. They come in, they get the money, not getting, like they don't want to pay hospitality. So now I say, you have to pay hospitality, people. These people down here have to pay it. So why you don't think you're gonna come in and take our money back out, take it from our businesses, and not follow the rules? No, I don't think it's fair.
And see, that's why I haven't done food truck fire leads and stuff there, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of feedback from the businesses. And talking with some of the other directors, they said that's the same thing, they get a lot of negative feedback from the downtown.
I mean, that's the thing. You can't take the heat, go get in the kitchen.
So,
It's not, you're getting nothing there. I mean, it's not worth it. It really is not worth it. I mean, but to see what we go through downstairs and how people hollering at us and screaming at us and.
is there like 2 or 3 out of town ones that I would like to just bring here? One is willing to come as long as it's not a lot of food trucks, so it'll be worth their while, because it's a 3-hour drive. And I tasted the food. They're out of, where they go for that Main Street, out of Walkersville, I think. It's a food.
Is it a barbecue truck?
It's called Soul Food Buffet. It's a really big food truck, longer than any of the ones I've seen. And you pull up, and when you walk up to, you see the whole bar, just like you go to a restaurant for a bar, just a bar, and you just say what you want to do.
I'm trying to get in there.
I would love to. I wanted it for Spring Festival, but they just won't let us.
Yeah.
They said you're gonna have too many vendors, and they think that it's not gonna work a while. And then there's one out of Rayford. It's some type of Italian one.
Up there at Turkey.
And I had to deny him the Spring Festival. Didn't want to, because that was a brand new, and never been here before, but he didn't apply to 10 days after the deadline date. And I just couldn't. I mean, we had 90. I mean, if I would have taken everybody after the deadline date, I would have had to take 50-something more vendors.
Good gosh, no.
Where we gonna put them? Y'all would have fit. Where we gonna put them? Because it would have went past the community center and just vendors. But I wanted that Italian one. His pictures, they look nice. Don't ever know the food gonna be nice, but just the pictures. And he even sent me something back saying, well, why was I denied? I didn't respond to that email only because it was written in the denial email why you denied. You either passed the deadline date or too many of a specific time. Well, he was past the deadline date. The reason was the very first reason that was on there. So, but I would love to get a date. Now I tried. What was it? Something I said. Actually, no, I didn't send it for Independence Celebration. I thought about it, and I was like, no, I'm trying to do the local ones.
I'll do that this year. I won't be here this year.
Projects, they went to, Country Kitchen Sunday, and they waited 50 minutes in line to eat. I'm like, I need to look forward to it.
We went to Country Kitchen, but we didn't get there till about 1:30, 42 because we waited on my family.
Is there anything left?
No fried chicken left. That's why Jasmine was mad. It was, but that's the longest we've ever had to wait in. Only because I chose to get out at 11:15. So we're normally the first ones at the shed and at Country Kitchen.
But see, if you had gone there then, you would have been in good shape.
But I was waiting on my sister more than anything, and my sister went to church, and our church in Hamlet doesn't start till 11. So
I went home, my daughter wanted me to cook. She said, listen, Mother's Day, and y'all should be celebrating me. She said, well, no, I'm a mama too, you know. So I fixed her. She had a meal that she wanted, so I cooked it for her.
well, she doesn't come home out.
Well, no, this is the first time in a year that she's been home. Well, she ain't got to come, because I stay down there. I go once a month down there. Why would you come home, right?
I would have been jacked.
I did. I cooked her that meal for her. Make sure she had.
What's going on? Because y'all gonna be here at 8 o'clock.
Don't say that. Don't speak that in our life, is it?
It's a burden, I'll tell you.
Yeah, have a good night, and
You too.
I'm gonna come by tomorrow for my little request.
You got the department head meeting tomorrow.
Oh, you know what? I didn't get you my access report. What's the latest time I can get to you tomorrow? What time is the latest? 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock?
They will come there.
I'm gonna try to work on it tonight. I have my receipts in here. I just say that. I act like I don't need my money. Yes, I need my money.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they bill my credit card, not this credit
That
card.
will be back by the time they get your bill. You can go ahead and pay your bill then.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get your stuff together.
But I need y'all to make sure they didn't double charge, like charge me and charge.
She's still continues. I got one again this afternoon from that hotel asking me to send that form in. I'm not sending the form in.
But they just is crazy.
I'm not sending it from
Because they already be on my hotel. I mean, not on the card.
But I'm gonna watch it because I'm waiting for the credit. And now I can pull up the credit card bill. I said I'm gonna pull the credit card bill up on the online and see if it's actually been charged before I pay them. But I sent that to her, you know, and then they like, but then you're gonna continuously send it to me again. That's it, to you.
Well, I got to double check mine to make sure they didn't bill it twice. Because I mean, I reserved it with, I want to say with my card, but then we did authorization form. And then you send it 3 times to them, and then they still bill my credit card.
That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna check it tomorrow to see if it's, we went through.
All right, y'all have a good night. You too.
Council, before you leave tonight, we have a table full of things that need to be signed, okay?
Nobody waiting.
Those ones that couldn't leave.
Y'all are stuck here.
And take a motion to come out of executive session at this time.
Make a motion.
Got a second? Any discussion? Okay, call for a vote. All those in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion to take any action upon executive session? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
And a second. Second. Any discussion? We are. Motion.
Count for me, please.